Following a short morning flight from Toronto, we board the cruise ship the Norwegian Dawn at the New York Cruise Terminal located on Manhattan Island's lower west side. As we sail out on the Hudson River, we join many of our fellow travelers, viewing some of the famous landmarks and enjoying the excitement of getting underway. On our first day at sea, the Atlantic Ocean shows us her rougher side, but as the next day dawned, we were welcomed by the beautiful blue waters of Bermuda. Our helmsman carefully steers us through a marked channel in the 200 square miles of shallow water that surrounds the islands. The ship noses up to the King's Wharf terminal and is tied up with flawless precision. Our cruise ship, the Norwegian Dawn, has brought us to this beautiful island along with 2,400 fellow travelers. Tourism is a major industry in Bermuda, with over 500,000 visitors arriving by sea and air each year. We arrive at the northwest end of the island, the site of the old Royal Navy Dockyard, which has been transformed into a major tourist attraction. Using the available transportation is the best idea for exploring this complex of buildings. What was once Britain's Gibraltar of the West now entertains visitors with craft shops, glassworks, and restaurants, and a host of shops in the Clock Tower Mall. For history buffs, the Dockyard is a fascinating place. It was constructed largely by convicts and slave labor. Work began in 1809 to provide Britain with a major base in the West, following the loss of the 13 American colonies. The imposing building where the governor resided is now an excellent maritime museum, frequently visited by many tourists and local school children. The Dolphin Quest is one of the most popular attractions within the Dockyard. This historic area provides an ideal setting for what is described as the ultimate marine adventure, where adults and children can fulfill their fantasies of touching, feeding, and getting their photos taken with a dolphin. Seeing them relate to people reinforces the belief that they are among the most friendly and intelligent of animals. They obviously have an impressive ability to learn, and by all appearances take great pleasure in performing. A visit to Bermuda would not be complete without a sightseeing cruise around the island. This is the only way to see this beautiful place from above and below the surface of the surrounding waters. Everyone enjoyed the ride on the open water, and our young captain kept us amused and informed with his running commentary. Marinas abound with boats of every description. For many Bermudans, a boat is a replacement for the family automobile. Sailing along the coastline, we have a clear view of many colorful waterfront homes, and out to sea, the blue-green translucent water is a truly inviting sight. The water beneath us is quite shallow, as we are over the shelf of a coral reef that makes up and surrounds Bermuda. Although this is a lovely scene, these waters have been deadly for many. These reefs have been the cause of over 300 known shipwrecks. This wreck is the HMS Vixen, a British Navy gunboat that was purposely scuttled in 1896. It draws many interested and curious viewers. This wreck is also an attraction for many varieties of fish. This scene makes it difficult to believe that Bermuda has a problem with overfishing. Bermuda can lay claim to having the most northerly coral reefs in the entire world. The coral here thrives on the clear, warm water of the Gulf Stream that continually passes by its shores. Touring the island by land, we discovered that Bermuda is made up of 138 islands, many connected now by causeways and bridges. From one end to the other, its length is 22 miles by road. As we travel along, we come to an obvious tourist stop. The Somerset Bridge is the world's smallest drawbridge, with only a 22-inch span, just space enough for the mast of a sailboat. As our tour continues, we came to one of the highest points of land in Bermuda, on which stands the oldest cast-iron lighthouse in the world. Gibbs Hill Lighthouse was built in 1844 and is still in use today. It was also interesting to discover that the rooftops in Bermuda are designed to capture the rain, which is the primary source of water for the island's residents. At the extreme eastern end of the island, we come to the historically rich town of St. George. The town is a delightful place to explore. St. George's Harbor is a natural harbor and was the site of the first naval base on the island. During Bermuda's early history, it was considered to be the gateway to the colony. It is now one of the most favored destinations for ocean-going yachts. Nearby is a statue of Admiral Sir George Somers, the founder of Bermuda, and a replica of the ship Deliverance. English colonists were shipwrecked here in 1609. They built the Deliverance from salvaged material and local timber. Then they sailed on to Virginia to fortunately save the starving colonists there. Somers returned to Bermuda and established a settlement here in 1612. Today, St. George remains basically untouched. Most of its buildings were constructed in the 17th to 19th centuries. A deliberate effort has been made to preserve its original appearance, including a replica of the stocks. The longest surviving building is St. Peter's Church. It claims to be the oldest Protestant church in the Western Hemisphere, parts first being built in 1620. Notables were buried in the church and lesser Bermudans in the graveyard. Originally, the church bell hung from an old-growth cedar until the belfry was added many years later. The capital city of Hamilton was our final destination. Its prosperous appearance is a reminder that while parts of the Caribbean struggle with poverty, this subtropical island has an extremely affluent economy. Becoming an important center for financial services has brought about many physical changes in Hamilton and Bermuda. However, many links with its past have been preserved. Throughout this trip, many memories have been revived. During World War II, my ship came to Bermuda for exercises and repairs. On a sightseeing excursion, friends and I took a horse and carriage ride. That had to be repeated, and my wife Iris and I signed up for a tour of the town. Much had changed. The city had obviously grown and prospered. However, there was a landmark that had not changed. There it was, the Princess Hotel, famous as the Pink Palace since it opened in 1885. It was a tangible reminder of my visit to beautiful Bermuda many years ago. As our time grows short, we cross the Great Sound from Hamilton to the King's Wharf, and we are soon casting off from this paradise island, leaving with many happy memories of beautiful Bermuda.